Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today on love, life, and relationships, we have Anonymous.
You trying to figure me out?
Huh?
You trying to figure me out?
It's not, you don't let everybody into your head. I don't think nobody should do that though.
Yeah, I came to that conclusion too. That say if you meet anybody and y'all end up in a long-term relationship, as much as you want to know that person to the T, it's never going to happen. And if you do, it's not going. It's going to hurt you more than anything, especially if you can't deal with it. Like if you can't deal with it, you're just gonna be.
So do you feel like there's anybody on earth that understands you?
I mean, you can get close to it. You know what I'm saying? You can get close to it, but to fully comprehend, just like somebody, I don't think nobody would ever completely understand you. It just because they're not you.
They don't. And I'll say over and over again, I could be with you 24/7 and you will still never know me.
Yeah.
It's because the complexities that come along with me. And sometimes, like, when I meet people, I don't know if they ready.
Yeah.
I mean, because me and you just met a couple of days ago, right? Well, what? It's been some weeks now.
Yeah.
And do you remember what I told you the very first day I met you?
Crazy.
I did not say that. What did I say?
Saying you're different and all this stuff.
I said some weird shit is gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah.
Did some weird shit happen?
I mean, you was in my dreams a couple of times.
But I told you.
Yeah. But when I pick up on people's energy anyway, I end up having dreams and sometimes even astral traveling and seeing stuff that you probably wouldn't know that I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh shit. Like I know something like, damn. So she probably either thinking about something like this or she actually doing it.
Cause you told me something. You said you had a dream that I had a talk show, right? It was.
I think I had that dream before you told me to.
Yes, you definitely did. And so it was almost like, okay, because you didn't know I did this. You didn't know that was a thought of mine. We never talked about it. Really, our interaction was kind of minimal.
Well,
energetically, we matched right away.
yeah. I see that.
So, okay. I've been saying marriage is totally important. So I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea that I'm not saying marriage is important. Marriage is very important, and I'm gonna tell you why. But it's less important than sexual energy and intercourse. And I think that the reason why, because we talked about biblical days going back to getting married first, and then you have sex. Because when you get married first, you're in covenant with you, your spouse, and God. That kind of seals the deal on the sexual, because it's now you. Because have you ever been married before? I've been married once or twice or 3 times. Okay? And sex always felt different to me after I was married.
In what way?
It felt a lot better.
Okay.
Like it was much deeper, like a deeper meaning to it. Like it was almost like spiritually, it was ordained under God. It was blessed by God. It was the best feeling you could ever have. You're making God pleased by having sex. Because when you do it in that order, when you have sex and then you have kids, it's a blessing. So the marriage is important because it's in covenant with God, and anything you go in covenant with God is very much important. But the way people have sexual intercourse, or the way they just, display their sexual energy, or everybody can get it, that's not what it's about.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, sex is great. Sex feels amazing. It feels even more amazing with the right person.
Yeah.
But I can do it myself. Less time. I hit the target every time. And it's not a waste of time, because you got to admit, like, how many times have you had sex with a person and you felt like it was a waste of time?
I mean, yeah, you get clear-headed, like, man, I could've, you know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even have to happen.
And now me and that person is like, I really don't want to fuck with you now, because we done already went to that part, and we could have been better off as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you mess that up? Because we see something, our eyes get us into trouble.
It do.
Everything that look good ain't good. Okay, so that was one of the things I just wanted to clear up, because I didn't want anybody hearing it saying, well, she's saying marriage is not important. Marriage is totally important. It's just, it's a higher spiritual thing. Are you spiritual or are you religious? Are you
spiritual? I ain't religious at all. I like the science of spirituality too, like metaphysics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So you believe in energy in the universe. You tap in. You could speak to trees, and you do grounding and all that good stuff.
I'm more into the mental part of it, like lucid dreaming and meditation, stuff like that.
Right.
That's what had my most profound, you know what I'm saying, stuff that happened to me.
Have you gotten into trouble lucid dreaming?
Getting in trouble?
You can get in trouble in a couple different ways.
No.
Have you ever astral projected somewhere you didn't want to be?
I can't think of it on the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I went somewhere and I was like, I gotta get the hell out of here. But I don't like having that fear, because it's just gonna make it worse.
I don't know if it's about a fear or if it's just about being cautious.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize some people you're not allowed to energetically invade.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I done did stuff, like I say, like, went in people's houses and stuff like that, but and then as soon as you get there, you see something, it's like, oh, I don't supposed to be here. And then, yeah, you leave. But I don't do that too much no more.
So when did you know you were spiritual? Like, when did you start with the higher consciousness?
Like 14. I was kind of always knew something else was going on. Then when I hit 14, I had my first astral travel, and I thought the damn devil was trying to take my soul. And then that's when I went down a rabbit hole and was like, oh shit, I'm God. And that was it.
You've been hooked ever since?
Mm-hmm. But I think it had to do something with me being a Sagittarius too.
What you mean?
Most Sagittarius is spiritual, and they like knowing about every damn thing.
The universe, how it works, how it takes.
Mm-hmm. Everything. How the mind work, how my mind work, how your mind work.
Right. So, which theory do you kind of more lean towards when it talks about God and the development of God?
Like, what is God? That what you asking?
Well, I guess you could say that.
I'm kind of, I feel like God is not how people think just this one thing that's sitting and watching everything. It's more of a substance that's everywhere, and it's everything. So it's like we are it, and it lives through us. So if we don't create and experience stuff, good or bad, you know what I'm saying, then we doing God a disservice.
Totally.
Because he gave us all this, you know what I'm saying, life experience, not just this life. I'm talking about just the mere fact that you can see.
So you spoke about your fiance not being spiritual.
I mean, she is, but you know what I'm saying, you can be spiritual, but your pineal gland closed like a motherfucker, so you just like, you can't tap in like you know what I'm saying, like I can. So it's just like, we can't have them deep conversations because she haven't experienced it.
Right. She go to church?
She used to. She say she used to. I never seen her go to church.
So right now, as far as like spirituality, you feel like she's searching, or she's just like most people living life in the Matrix?
She more into the manifesting and stuff like that, which is cool because everybody trying to manifest, but when it comes to manifesting with me, I don't really care about it because I feel like you can do it if you want it. You don't gotta use spirituality to manifest nothing.
I'm a huge manifester. But the reality of it all is people need to be very careful about the things they manifest, because you could potentially be manifesting something that is not yours. And once you do that, you're stealing from the universe. And you're also potentially stealing from the actual physical owner. So I think recently, so now we're into the age of Aquarius. Recently there's been a huge boom in spirituality and people thinking they're powerful, and witchcraft and using energy, and people doing stuff a lot of them shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
It's not for you, and if you don't know what you're doing, you just shouldn't be doing it. So as far as I'm concerned, I have been doing a lot of things for a long time. So my first experience with even an energy that was otherworldly was when I was about 5 or 6. So I grew up kind of a little weird ass kid. And sometimes you talk to things that maybe you shouldn't. Sometimes you can see things that maybe other people don't see. I pick up on big energy from people. A lot of things that even now sometimes things happen and I'm not really too sure of how it happens, because I never, like recently I haven't had the time to kind of like really focus on that. But like I told you, it's like a lot of supernatural ass shit happening around me, to the point where now it's like, okay, that's happening.
See, like when people get spiritual, I be wanting them to get to the part where it's like you can do these things when you want to, instead of like stuff just happening. Or you know what I'm saying, all this weird stuff happening. You can go into it like, okay, I want to speak to this person, or I want to do this or that. That's what I'm into. I'm like into like really how you do this, like mental work.
And that's one of the things, whereas again, sometimes people do stuff that is not meant for them to do, and then they fuck around and tap into some stuff that really fucks them up.
Have you did any psychedelics?
Not yet.
You want to?
I totally want to.
I do too. I took this thing called DMT, but I messed it up because I'm not a smoker like that, and so I burnt it, but it worked a little bit. I was seeing visuals and stuff, but I could do that stuff without it. But I do want to take mushrooms, and
I do too.
so I like listening to people mushroom experiences and stuff, and I'm like, dang, that sounds just like, you know what I'm saying, the dream I had or that astral travel experience I had.
I just want to be in a place where I'm going to be safe, and I actually want to do it like the very spiritual way when you have the shaman and they walk you through, and I want to do it that way the very first time.
Yeah.
Because it's part of your journey. And I just want to make sure that I have a real teacher, a real
that medicine gonna teach you.
healer person present, and I'm just not out here just doing. Because again, I have done some stuff and I don't know how it happened, and I don't want it to happen on a trip and then I'm fucked up. Because I know what kind of power I have. I know what kind of power I bring. And one false move, I could be on the other side. Like, I have gone through the dark night of the soul. It was very traumatic.
So,
people died there.
So how you went through that? Like, you mean like, was it through like a meditation process, or just went to sleep?
Don't ask me. I woke up one day and shit was fucked up. Yeah. And everybody said, what is wrong with you? Meanwhile, back at band camp, I'm sitting with God, chilling, discussing everything that's happening, because I'm also going through an ascension at the time. This is how, when I said shit got trippy, shit got real trippy. And I don't know how it happened. It was like almost like I got triggered into it. But I don't know the thing, like, because there was a couple of things happening. So one of the things that I think, and that's the one that they kept repeating over and over again, somebody slipped me fentanyl. So it did a switch. I clicked out. But it turned me on.
So it activated something, yeah.
Like, big time. And I went into like this mode where everybody was like, it was weird because I didn't know how, like, I know stuff, but I knew a lot of stuff. Yeah. And it was almost like I was a child. Like, I'm still going through it. Like, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. This actually just happened December 2021. So January 2022, I was different. And even now, that's why I said, like, it's important for me for freedom, because I'm a whole different person. Like, when I clicked out, my avatar got activated, and there was other stuff happening. People don't know. This is how I know who knows and who. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's certain things that only people in alignment with that knows. I know Kanye West is not crazy. I know Keanu Reeves is not crazy. I know Terrence Howard. It's things that happen. And everybody seems to follow. Everybody that went through this seems to follow the same pattern. They start that math that you're talking about, the science of, it becomes very important, because the world was created that way. Frequencies become very important. And I don't want to give up too much, because again, it's people who don't know, but they fake, like, oh, this is, so that's how I know when people really be on some, you bullshitting. You heard it, but when you really go through it, you better hope your ass makes it on the other side, because it's like there's an entity there. Their goal is to make sure you don't come out of there.
See that?
And everybody on the outside, because when people were calling me and they're like, are you okay? It was triggering to me because why the fuck are y'all asking me okay? Am I okay? I'm better than I've ever been.
Yeah.
Y'all don't even realize I see some shit that y'all have never even realized exists.
Yeah.
So why you trying to trigger me? Because why you asking me if I'm okay? Am I okay? Like, what seems off about me?
You ain't in the Matrix.
Exactly.
I mean, I had an experience. I seen something. It was like this entity was singing, and it was like when I looked at it, information just comes to you, so you just know things, especially when you on the other side. So it was basically like this entity or God almost, that Kanye West created from his ego.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm looking at it, like, dang, this shit looks so sad. It was like sad as fuck. I don't know. You had to beat up, but it was just like a big ass sad entity that it said Kanye West created it, and it's like a fake Jesus or something like that.
I feel bad for him a little bit because being in the public eye and glitching. Well, because that's how it's described.
Yeah.
It's a glitch. Like one day you're fine, the next minute you glitch. And so doctors that say you're a little psycho, you need some antidepressants, you are schizophrenic, I'm the smartest bitch you ever gonna know.
Mm-hmm.
Put that on the list, please. I read a lot. I look at a lot. I see stuff that makes no fucking sense in this world. But because a person put it in a book, everybody will say, oh, this is the status quo. And you're thinking, or I'm thinking, I can write a book. And just because I write a book, I can write a book and I can tell a bunch of lies. Somebody's gonna believe it because I wrote a book.
That's why I got into it's something called Kenosis. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. But basically it's like anything that you experience, that's supposed to be your truth. If you haven't experienced it, then it's not true. You shouldn't look at it as true. So you're supposed to question everything. I like that deep in me too.
Have you ever read, I think it's The Secrets? Have you ever read that book?
The Sequence? No, I ain't read that one.
You should read it. It's an actually good book. It's a couple books that I keep on my Audible that they're always my go-tos. And The Secrets is one. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you.
What time it is?
9:36.
Every time you look at the phone, it's 9:36. Every time.
Well, did you look it up? It's an angel number.
It is.
You talking?
It's all multiples of 3. 9, 3, 6. They can all be multiplied 3. So 3 is the number. And 3 is
I just heard
Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And hold on, I literally just looked this up because I'm like, why is it always 3? And it was, let me see.
I just heard about it. Somebody, I don't know how I came across it, but somebody just told me that the number 396 is important.
It was what?
396. I'll be right back.
Okay, so the number 3 was considered as a perfect number. The number of harmony, wisdom, and understanding. It was also the number of time, past, present, and future. Also, birth, life, death, beginning, middle, and end. It was also the number of the divine.